FFTC, and we're going to be doing losers bracket number 51 between Lurker Squad on top and my squad on bottom. Lurker Squad has Thinger the Thief, which is there mostly to steal heart and throw stuff. Lances the Lancer, who's, despite having a weapon, is mostly there to be an item bot because he doesn't have good mobility or good speed to be able to actually jump people. And Nunk the Knight, which is mostly a Knight Monk, there to deal damage with his sword, and if needed, revive people. Then we have Pleaser the Wizard, or Red Mage the Wizard, which is there mostly to deal high AoE elemental damages like Ice Bolt and Fire 4, as well as Raise 2 off short charge, which would only be 3 CTR. She also has Abandon to help her with surviving. Okay, then we have my squad. We have Keech the Ninja, who does a good deal afar, more up close, and can be an item bot. Dragon Spirit here is for survivability reasons, since he has no evasion. Charlie the Monk, who's there to support the squad with time magic, revive them if needed, and tank fairly well because he's a monk with armor. 12 the Geomancer, who has elemental to just to kill enemy units that have been grouped together too closely, also to kill enemy units who just have been brought up, as well as inflict statuses with both elemental as well as with Mimic Darabon, Sleep, and Threaten, Don't Act. He can also function as my second and a half healer by adding re-raise to my squad mates. Then we have Isol the Samurai, who does damage with Kiku, does more damage with her spear, and can paralyze opponents. Some people have been wondering why I have Demi on this monk and Diminish on this samurai. The reason is because I want to have abilities that aren't restricted by height tolerances, and I also want abilities that attack from other angles than what you would expect. In other words, just being able to deal damage doesn't mean as much when you're up against a tank squad that you're worse compat with, simply because, well, your high damages are going to get negated. So, and also, most tanks tend to have fairly good PEV and not as good MEV, so I want to have units that are capable of hitting with magic, so we have this, so that's why I have Demi on Charlie, and Diminish on Isol. That way they're always going to be making attacks, even when they're not in range because of height reasons to use Kiku or Earth Slash. Essentially, that's it. Now let's actually do the pre-battle analysis. Okay, when it comes to HP, I think that my opponent has the advantage because his squad is a lot more tanky. If you just look at HP totals, pretty much all his units have more HP except that wizard. He also has more resurrections, especially more resurrections at range, and higher HP healing resurrections, which is always useful. And he has more evasion, which helps his units, even if they're fairly squishy, not die. However, when it comes to damage, this favors me. That ninja can one-hit KO 2 members of his squad. However, conversely, his units, despite having best compat with my ninja, his two females can't one-hit KO that ninja. They can both weaken with their best attacks, they can both weaken him to around 15 HP, but that won't be enough. Similarly, if you look at status, I have a lot more statuses to use. I have Don't Act, I have Sleep, I have Haste, and I have whatever Geomancy can provide me. He only has Charm. However, Charm is very powerful, so essentially we're closer to even here, even though I have more statuses to use. However, luck favors my opponent, not only because he has more evasion, but also because he has... If Charm does go off at 66% because of best compat against that ninja, because of the way I built my squad, good compat will cause that ninja to wreck pretty much every single other unit on my squad. In other words, he has one-hit KOs against the monk and the Geomancer, and he can nearly kill that samurai with just 2 sword swings of him. With him being also the fastest unit, that can't be good. Synchronization, however, favors me because my opponent doesn't really need Concentrate in this map or Float. And that will just cause him harm from Kamaitachi and since my squad has no evasions to speak of, Concentrate's kind of useless on that thief. Also, in terms of just outright synchronization, there's some basic errors like that Lancer not being able to deal more damage because he doesn't have a Holy Lance, or not having a Holy Lance and 2 hands, for example, would be a lot more effective on a Lancer like that. Also, if he wants to use jump on that Lancer, he kind of needs to have a jump range of 5 and a vertical range of 8. And he also kind of needs 10 speed, so that way his Lancer can actually revenge jump enemy ninjas. That Thief kind of needs more movement if she wants to be able to throw things at range and actually be a threat that way. And that Wizard has the problem that she has Abandon and Short Charge, which is nice half the time, but if you get Mid Charge the other half of the time, Abandon's useless. This is why I would personally, given the HP totals of his squad, I'd rather give that Knight 70 Faith, Short Charge, and White Magic, and then give the Wizard no Black Magics at all, and run a draw out setup with MP switch like all the other ones did, because that's probably more effective. Though I've also done tests, and a Short Charge Wizard like that also uses draw out, it's fine. But against how fast my squad is, that could get that has a huge mid charging potential. However, there is one thing that does favor. That's one more thing that does favor a lurker, and it's the AI. My ninja, because I can't see evasions and all his units have fairly good evasion, the ninja might just go in and try to use a one-hit KO attack and then suddenly realize it doesn't work, which isn't a good thing. Furthermore, I should have said this under synchronization, but my synchronization isn't perfect because that monk doesn't know repeating fist, even though if he did, it would go through it would be a concentrated hit, A, and B, would deal more damage than either Kiku or Geomancy. But he doesn't know repeating fist, which is the first problem, and that because he's the haster on my squad and all the units except the ninja have 9 speed, he should be last on my squad simply because that way haste always goes off on him and somebody else. As it is set up now, it is likely that haste may go off on nobody, or it may just go off on him, which is essentially a waste. But that's essentially a synchronization error on my part. And with that, let's actually start the match. The first battle is going to be tutorial map, number 102. Okay. As you all may have noticed, I actually chose to listen to Krilla's and added a palette. So Lurker's team is in the red, and my team will be in the green. Surprisingly, that ninja chose to hang back, but I think that's smart, because this way, both the monk's demi, my geomancer's draw geomancy, and the Kiku's all will target a lot of units. And then the ninja can just mop up, which is a nice strategy there. Monk takes minor damage. An Ice Brand throw is attempted and fails. Okay. And the Thief is petrified. Wow. Okay, so the Lancer's going to have to spend a turn getting rid of that, rather than attacking. The Wizard's going to go somewhere and try to mid-charge people, and she's not in range to get attacked, so my ninja walks right into Fire 4 range at best compat, while the enemy Thief is healed. I can't say this is a smart idea on my part. And a triple panel Petrify goes off. I mean, a triple panel Carved Bottle goes off, which petrifies an enemy unit and then brings down the enemy Lancer. So I can't say that didn't backfire on my opponent. And now the Knights don't act it. So it's essentially 4-on-1. Never mind the fact that my ninja can't survive in its best compat hit. That Thief can't actually KO my entire squad. The Thief doesn't get don't acted despite the 61% chance. But Murasame is going to heal everyone, including the units who just got nuked. So even though the Thief can spend all of her turns getting rid of my ninja, it won't mean much. Now that the Knight's back, we have to be careful that Stigma Magic doesn't Okay, so now the Thief is don't active, so the ninja will have time to kill people. Well, I suspect that Wizard will soon lose. No, my ninja goes first. And throws an Ice Brand best compat at that Thief. Okay, that Thief is finished. But because of the low move speed on my opponent, they have a lot of time to bring their squad back. So it's essentially back to 4-on-4 again. And notice because of the AI, it chooses to be stupid. And But carved model brings the thief, the wizard back down. So it's the don't act it thief doesn't do anything. Notice that the higher your speed, actually, the more don't act actually hurts, because the higher your speed, the more likely you will die from don't act rather than just simply the more turns you're gonna lose from don't act, and the more turns your opponent can get on you. Okay, so I win round 1, and we're gonna see you all for round 2. FTC, we're gonna do round 2 of the losers bracket number 51 between Lurker Squad and my squad. I won round 1 because Lurker Squad, despite getting an early fire 4-off, which negated much of my damage because of fire absorption, and nuking 4 members of my squad, didn't actually manage to kill anyone. Because of this, and then because Geomancy then went off on 3 units, and then petrified his wizard, I was able to seize the initiative. After don't acting like 2 units in quick succession, his offense simply fell apart. Let's see what happens on map number 68. It's a smaller map, and it's Bethlehem Garrison. Okay. To be honest, I think this map will favor me more than the last one, because that wizard is going to be much more likely to get mid-charged by all my units. However, his knight and lancer are far more able to actually hit things this time. So it's still anyone's game. The counter flood was pitiful compared to my damage, but then again, I have an offense Geomancer, so it's not exactly. Okay, and Paralyze goes off on 2 units. Okay. Essentially, that thief has been don't acted. This, I think, would argue is a huge advantage for my squad, because without that thief charming people, it'll be very easy for my squad to simply clean up after 1 unit. It's 4-on-1 right now. And Kama Itachi, as I noted before, causes weakness, because of float, causes weakness to wind elemental. Kama Itachi is now extremely dangerous. And it's also, though my ninja fails to kill this time. But he gets a double turn, so he might do it again. Yup, and he does, this time with a critical. Okay, so it's already 4-on-2, and it's really 4-on-1 because only 1 unit can do anything. Make that 0 units. Okay, so the thief finally loses don't act, but unless she starts charming people, it's not going to do anything. The knight's put down, and now it's just 3-on-1. Even with Dragon Spirit, that won't be enough. There's just too many units. Paralyze misses this time, though. And now the Geomancer will be permanently ignored. But the Geomancer is a Judo Vest, and because Arch didn't apply the death sentence, negates Death Hack. Death Sentence doesn't negate Death Hack. That Geomancer actually won't die from Death Sentence. So essentially, he's a free man, and yeah, he kills the thief. So I win round 2. Congrats, well, I guess not congrats to me. I have to face Baron next round, but Lurker, I'm sorry, you've been eliminated.